So that is called as contract manufacturing. So we are just making product for others. That means okay. And B2B, as I said, B2B is business to business, and B2C is business to customer. So B2C is like we are selling the product directly to the customer. So if like I have a retail product, like you can see here, instant tea and coffee mixes. We have it in the retail sector. So what does that mean? We are selling this product directly to the customer, or maybe on online platforms like Amazon or Flipkart, etc. So likewise, business. So again, just let me repeat quickly. The types of businesses are B2B, business to business, B2C, that is business to customer, contract manufacturing, and export business. Okay. So dip type tea bags is one of our main product, which is going B2B. Then we also have dehydrated products like dehydrated sprouts, ready to eat and ready to cook, dry mixes, etc. So this is for export as well as B2B or contract manufacturing. Then we have instant tea and coffee mixes. These are like just add premix to hot water and your tea or coffee is ready. So this is our only retail product right now. And we are also exporting it and selling it in B2B segment in and around Pune. So that's the only retail product right now. We have instant tea coffee premixes. Then we are also manufacturing syrups. So traditional syrups like kokum or kairi panna, etc., which we only export and we don't have in retail market in India. So that's only for export. And we also make an innovative product like Sol Curry concentrate. So you might have heard uh, the Sol Curry drink, which is mainly made at household in Konkan and Goa area. So it is made with kokum and coconut milk and all. So it's very popular in Konkan and Western Maharashtra. So we make a Solkadi concentrate, and to best of our knowledge, there is no other product in market like this right now. But again, we are just making it for the export. Uh, okay, we also manufacture natural and synthetic syrups for cold vending machines. And lastly, we manufacture nutritional mixes like smoothie mix or traditional soup mix, etc. These are again only for B2B market. Okay. So the start of our business. So when we decided to start the business, there were many hurdles. Basically, both of us are first generation entrepreneurs, and we didn't had any business background in our family. So after completing our education, both of us took jobs, and we were earning good two-digit salaries. So leaving a stable job was obviously one of the hurdles. But I think if you are not ready to be uncomfortable, then you are not ready to be entrepreneur. So being ready to give up your comfort zone and ready to be uncomfortable is, I think, the first step towards the entrepreneur. Once you start getting that salary credit message on first day of every month, then it becomes difficult uh, for coming out of that comfort zone. Then other difficult thing while starting the business is in which sector to start the business. Uh, that obviously is the question for every entrepreneur. So Ameya had worked in the production department in biopharma industries for a few years, and after completing my PhD in food technology, I worked in R&D department of a food industry for 2 years. So we had varied collective experience, and after much brainstorming, we felt that considering our strengths and opportunities, food processing sector is the best sector in which we can start in. So whenever you start new, then the first question you need to ask to yourself is, why are you starting a business? So some people are entrepreneurs because they love to work, and even if they formally retire from their job, they always need something or the other to work on. They probably never retire until one day their doctor says that now retire, your body will not support you more. Then they retire. Then some business owners are into the business to set up a brand, sell it to a bigger company, make money, and live rest of the life luxuriously. Then few people start their venture because they have innovative ideas. They wanted to bring those ideas into the reality on their own and make it big themselves. So the answer to this question, like why you want to start the business, what is your objective to start the business, will help you to sense your financial and business goals. So we started the business because we wanted to be on our own, and since we both of us are engineer, we wanted to set up our own manufacturing unit. So this was our dream. Like we have a production in it, and some products are being manufactured on a production line which is owned by us. So that was our dream. Uh, so that's why we entered into the production business. Then my one more intention was I will get some freedom. So in corporate job, you're stuck to the company routine, but when you are on your own, then you can get more freedom. So now I can work on products of my passion, take consultancy projects alongside, and I can give time to my first love, which is astronomy and the stargazing. So alongside the technical career, I also work for an amateur astronomer association in Pune, which is Jyotirvidya Parisamstha. So I do conduct stargazing programs, deliver lectures on astronomy, and also do astrophotography. So I can take out more time for my passion. Now, next thing is ikigai. So how many of you have heard this concept of ikigai? Maybe very few people or maybe nobody. So it's a Japanese word meaning a reason for being. So iki means life and gai means value. So when I read about the ikigai for the first time, I fall in love with this concept. So when you wake up in the morning with some thought, then only you can do it. Otherwise, you will not. So ikigai is like a Venn diagram, or what? Uh, Sorry, I got this. So it is having intersection of four circles: passion, or what you love; profession, or what you are good at; mission, or what the world wants; and vocation, or what you can be paid for. So the one thing which is common in all these four things is your ikigai. So what are you good at? What world wants? What from what you can earn, and what is your liking? So that will decide your ikigai. So spend time, think again and again. Maybe a few days, few weeks, but find your ikigai, and that will keep you motivated about what you are doing. So Dan Butner, a fellow of National Geographic and renowned writer from New York Times, traveled across the world in 2012 to find out why people in some part of the world live happier and longer. So he wrote a book named Blue Zone Solutions. He has mentioned that people in this part of the world find their ikigai, and that is the main reason for their happier and longer lives. So spend some time and find your ikigai and follow it. And over the period, it may happen that your ikigai may change, but that's perfectly fine. But do find it and keep following it for your healthier life. Then next one is SWOT analysis. So it is one of the keys to the success. Identifying your strength, weaknesses, market opportunities, and threats will guide you selecting the proper sector in the business. So analyze whether you have expertise in production or sales and marketing, and then accordingly you can choose whether to start a production unit or get your product contract manufactured from someone else and just focus on the marketing. So this is very important, and it will lead you to the next level in your profession. So I have learned this in hard way through the failures of our business journey. So I'll be also sharing our failure story. So like if you don't analyze your strength and weakness properly, then that becomes very hard uh, for the success. Next one is innovation. So some days back, I was talking to an first generation entrepreneur who started a mechanical engineering company many years back, and is now well established. So he wanted to say that in his time, there was no such typical startup world and the government schemes for startup and etc. So he started when he started his firm, it was actually startup only. That's what he was saying. But what I think is the word startup is not just about starting any other business. If you are just making a product similar to the products already in the market and wish to take some percent of the existing market, then I think it's not a true startup. Startup is the word which has to be closely associated with the innovation. So innovation is very, very important. And if you want to start small and grow, then innovation is the only key to grow big. So come up with an original idea and don't copy, because if you are just copying, then there will be no passion. So you need that otherworldly passion to grow. Otherwise, you will be just one in thousand more entrepreneurs and will not stand out. So you have to brainstorm on what you can do differently. It may be innovative product, but may not just limit to innovative product. It can also be innovative packaging or innovative ways of marketing, etc. Like small twist in traditional products, innovative ways of distribution, innovative ways of sales, etc. So the best example I can give here is the paper boat. You might have seen the paper boat beverages. So they are just traditional beverages, but in different packaging. So they have innovative packaging here. The products are not innovative; they are just traditional products, but they have innovative presentation of those products. So the first thing that you should start for this is observation. So there is difference in hearing and listening, seeing and observing, right? So keep your eyes and ears open all the time wherever you go. Don't just see, observe and analyze. Make it a habit. So it will always help in brainstorming and innovation. So since I am in FMCG business, I love to go for shopping in supermarket, not to shop but to observe. So if I go to traditional kirana shop, what I will do, I will just ask the shopkeeper that, for example, give me a toothpaste. So he will give me, and I will just walk away. But when I go to supermarket, what I will do is I will walk in aisles. I will check what other people are doing. What are the new products in the market? What innovative things people are doing? What uh, different twist they are bringing to their product? And what are basically the market trends? Maybe the natural products is the market trend. Which products people are picking up more? So if you uh, walk through the aisles in supermarket, these are the free things which you can observe there, right? So the observation is very important for innovation, and innovation is the key to the success. There is no alternative. So the picture which you are seeing here is basically a mind map for innovation. So I think tomorrow Dr. Jyoti will be talking on the mind map. So you'll learn more about how to create such diagrams, etc. Now a little bit about our journey of the Ojman food bio. So uh, truly speaking, since our MTech years, that is way back in 2006, we were thinking that we should start something on our own. Uh, but since 2011, actually, uh, we started thinking seriously and started brainstorming on what we can do. But still, we wanted to take some industry experience, of course, because we didn't had any business background, and wanted to get some stability in our life. So both of us, my partner Amey and I, we spent few more years, and finally in year 2017 we started our operation. So the entrepreneurs are always full of ideas before starting the actual business, and many times it's difficult to figure out which one to zero in and concentrate on. Every entrepreneur has gone through this phase at least once. So as you evaluate your options, it is advisable to consult experts around you, the business persons around you about the opportunities in the area of your interest. So coordinating your background with local market aspects will increase your likelihood of the success. So in 2017, one of our so in 2017, one of our close acquaintances wanted to retire and close his business. So he had small scale production unit in food processing sector. So we just rented his unit and to some extent also took over his clients. And we started with mainly with vegetable dehydration and syrups for cold vending machines, out of which we soon stopped vegetable dehydration. So I'll be talking more on it later. We were also working on launching our own brand, and since in year 2018, basically we launched juices in shaped pouches under the brand name Fruit Inspiration. So we also started exporting syrups and sorry. We also started exporting syrups and tea coffee premixes to UK and Australia. So many people ask me how to start exporting the products, how to start export business. So my answer is it's in two ways. Like first one is to set up your office abroad with a marketing person there who will sell your products in that country. And second way is try connecting the importer in that country who is marketing, who has a marketing company there in that country and will import your product and sell there, maybe under his brand or your brand. So you cannot just sit here and try to sell your products abroad. So I think the second way is easier and less costly. Setting up a sales office in different country and try to sell there is obviously highly cost consuming or highly money consuming, right? So the second way is easier and less costly. So you have to develop such contact who will sell your product in that country. So that's I think how we also did. Like we had some connections who had a marketing company there, so they are importing our products under their brand name, of course, and then they are selling it there in U. Now we are exporting to UK, US, Australia, and New Zealand, and soon we are expecting for Singapore. I think. Then in 2019, we shifted from the rented unit to a new place wherein we have entire new setup for the production. We also shifted from routine hot air dryer to heat pump dryer, which resulted in better quality. So I will also talk on heat pump dryer in upcoming slides. Then in 2019, we closed our juices line as we incurred much losses in this juice business or the beverage business and started a new line of herbal teas. So our decision was much correct, and herbal tea is the most profitable line running for us right now. Sorry. So basically, we closed the juices vertical and started the herbal teas. Sorry. In 2019, we developed dry mix category foods along with other products like dehydrated sprouts and all. And then in March 2020, COVID-19 pandemic came. So we have to keep our unit closed for around 2 months during the first lockdown in April and rather half of the March, April, and half of the May in 2020 because of the lockdown. And but after that, we started our business back or our production unit again. And since we are in food business, we got permission to run it in full capacity under the essential services. So since we were stable by now, we could survive the impact of pandemic. And I have seen many newly started businesses had to close their business during pandemic. Our few lines like syrups or for cold vending machines had severe impact because of the pandemic because we used to supply these syrups to big corporate offices. So we used to supply these syrups for cold vending machines for big corporate offices. And since March 2020, many companies have opted for work from home, especially in IT business. And that's why that line is almost like closed. So both the summer seasons for 2020 and 2021 were wasted because of the lockdown for especially for this syrup business. But we also found opportunities in this bad time. And tea coffee premixes started picking up well in smaller offices because people were afraid of ordering tea from outside chaiwala, and small offices also don't have pantry, so we captured that opportunity. uh, what we proposed is instead of buying tea from outside or setting up a pantry here, you can just have our tea coffee premix. So it's like just add the premix in hot water and your tea is ready. So whenever typically the offices where customers like maybe architecture office, CA offices, or uh, the architecture or I just forgot that one. Okay. So where customer are coming in your office, and then they are also afraid like you're ordering tea from outside. So we just proposed there. We found the opportunity there and captured that. Another opportunity that we started exploring is dry mixes for Horeca industry. So Horeca is hotel, restaurant, and canteen industry. So I will again talk about it in the last. So now you can imagine how business is a game of snakes and ladders. We had to close the beverage line, but we also immediately shifted to another product. This we could do because we had a number of products. So I have seen many startups who have just one product, and uh, when it fails, they have to close their business. So the product is good, but maybe they lack marketing skills, they lack, or the product is improperly positioned in the market, like price is too high, and they are trying to sell it in kirana shop, or it is niche product, but they are selling in traditional market, or uh, rather uh, low value product they are trying to sell in uh, the class A shops, etc. So the improper placement of the product is one of the reason why product can fail. But if you just have one product and if it fails, then the entrepreneur has to just close the business and then again join the corporate job. So I've seen few of my friends when they failed, they just have to close the business and start the job again. So it's okay to take the failure, but I think you can take it in the middle. Never entertain it at the end. Like never close your business because you failed in the business. So don't do that. Try to. It's okay to fail when we start a business. Although we have a business background, like maybe your parents may be a businessman and you start something new, some new business. Then also you can fail. That's perfectly okay. But you can make mistakes, and no doubt everybody make some mistakes, and we have to learn from that. And uh, but I will say, don't close your business because of the failure. You can be successful, and then if you want to uh, retire, or you want to sell the business and do something else, that's perfectly fine. So you may stop business at the success note. Don't stop it at the uh, failure note. Okay. Now here I want to share our failure story. So many people will share their success story with you, but it's also important to hear failure story. So when you first start a business, you are going to make blunders. So that's obvious thing. The fewer mistakes that you make, though, it's better. What uh, important is to identify your mistakes early, come out of the situation, take learnings, and avoid the mistakes in future. The best way to uh, discover out about the some avoidable mistakes is to talk to the entrepreneurs around you. Take learnings from their mistakes and avoid it into the future. Uh, and most importantly, is continuous learning from your own routine and your own mistakes. What are the outcomes of your own mistakes? Try to learn from there, from your own mistakes. And making decisions accordingly is the key to the success. So most of you are Marathi, so you'll understand it. Like मराठीमध्ये एक म्हण आहे की पुढच्याच ठेच मागचा शाळा. पण आपल्याला काय दिसतं आजूबाजूला, पुढच्याला पण ठेच मागच्याला पण ठेच. So don't do that. So learn from others' mistakes, and you can find your own way of making mistakes or own way of the failures. That's perfectly okay. But don't repeat the mistakes of others. Don't repeat your own mistakes. Try to make new mistake every other time. That's perfectly okay. You will learn from that, and eventually you will be successful. Okay. So, so the ready to serve beverage that we launched were under brand name Fruit Inspiration, and we had 4 flavors like mango, raw mango or kairi panna, kokum, and solkadi. So we had them in shape pouch, the similar to paper board. So again, as I said, it was not an original idea. We just copied others' idea. That was one mistake that we did. Our key point, but was not the presentation. Our key point was authentic recipes made with real fruit juice. No synthetic or nature identical flavors we were adding. Like our mango drink had almost 25% Alfonso mango pulp. I don't think any other drink in the market has that rich mango drink. Hardly people add maybe 8% or 10% mango pulp. That too not Alfonso. All of them use Totapuri mango pulp. So our products were very good on technical front. Uh, uh, the taste wise, everything was very good. But with such good products, we failed. So when I talk about innovation, now if you see, except for the Solkadi flavor, other flavors are not new, like mango, raw mango, or ampana, kokum. They are routine products. They were nothing new. But the Solkadi in such kind of packaging with 6 months of shelf life, it was, or rather still it is a new thing. In market, whatever Solkadis are available, especially Pune, Mumbai, etc., they have a shelf life of just 15 days, and that too at refrigerated conditions. So our product was something new in the market, the Solkadi product. So what went wrong basically? Okay. So lesser budget allocation for sales and marketing. Uh, the SWOT analysis, which I talked about, is very important, and we didn't identify correctly that sales and marketing is not our strength. We neither had experience in sales and marketing. Both of us didn't had. I may have had production experience. I had R&D experience, and we didn't had the experience in sales and marketing. We all also we didn't allocated enough budget for sales and marketing. Our strength was R&D and production. So that was one of the reasons for the failure. And then since then, uh, we stopped almost entire retail business. Like I said, we just have a very small retail business for tea, coffee premixes. All our other businesses, if you see, either they are B2B, contract manufacturing, export, etc. So what we do right now is we just concentrate on R&D and production because they are our strengths. Sales and marketing is not our strength, so we don't focus on sales and marketing. So we don't want to establish our own brand. We don't want to sell our product in the market. That's not our cup of tea. Let the expert in sales and marketing take that job. Like if someone comes to us, like they have strength in marketing, so what we tell them is, you are you have expertise in sales and marketing, so better to set up a sales and marketing company. We'll give you the product, we'll manufacture it for you, and you sell it. So that's the proposition what we have. So we just concentrate on R&D. We just concentrate on production. We don't want to enter into the sales and marketing. That's the strategy for now. Next, next is improper packaging development. So we didn't give enough time for packaging development. In fact, it is very important because it's a first impression of your product on the customer. It's first sight when customer will have on your product. First thing what they look is the packaging. So our pouch quality was not up to the mark. If you notice the brand name, the fruit inspiration. So if I go to the earlier slide, as I said, the fruit inspiration is our brand name. So if you look at the pouch, can you see the fruit inspiration at one go? Like whenever you have first glance on the pouch, fruit inspiration is not the uh, brand that you will first look at. What you first have is the product name, that sorry, flavor name is perfectly okay, and Ojman, our logo. So the brand name fruit inspiration was not properly positioned. If you see, you can read it on the first go. It is not properly readable. Also, I think the name fruit inspiration itself is too long. Like when we, you might have, now you will observe, like you call like Lux soap or Colgate toothpaste or paperboard or something. Like the brand name should be the short enough. Like people should uh, easily tell it to the shopkeeper. The fruit inspiration name is too long, I guess, and I have seen or I have observed that people or customer who used to come to the shop and ask for our product, they used to ask for like Ojman uh, soul curry de do, ya Ojman mango drink de do. Like they used to call it by our company name Ojman instead of the name our brand name Fruit Inspiration. So that was another mistake. The next is incorrect launch time. Sorry. So it's a summer drink. So people should be familiar with the drink with before summer comes. So we launched our product in April, thinking that now it's summer, but your beverage should be on shelf by November, December, so that customer will keep on seeing it till summer comes. And when summer will start, it will start picking up from February, March. So April is actually end of season for manufacturer. Even if we see that or you think that April and May is the peak summer for manufacturer, April is end of season. Because why? Distributors will not place new order in the month of May. So they will just keep on circulating their existing stock. So in the month of May, they will not place new order. So that was the incorrect launch time. Next is incorrect positioning of our product. Sorry. So we should have positioned our product in all natural class, and we should have placed in class A shops only with maybe little higher pricing, so that our profit margin will increase. And but instead of doing that, what we did was we tried to sell it in traditional market through traditional kirana shops, and it didn't work well. So for that, what we have to do is we have to cut down on our margin and try to place it in lower price for the mass. But actually, it was neither placed well for masses, that is low value, high bulk product, nor it was for niche market like high value, low bulk. So basically, it was not properly positioned. Then so on profits also, I can share one story from the Unilever. So Unilever is a famous FMCG company, or Hindustan Unilever. So when so they were not able to enter into the detergent market in Gujarat. So their competitors had entire market with them, and Unilever was not able to enter into the Gujarat with their detergents. So what they did is they cut down on their profit margins, and they tried to sell the detergent at lower price. Okay, now because of the lower price, then they could enter the Gujarat state, and then they captured some share in the market. But after that, they couldn't increase their prices. After getting established in Gujarat, they couldn't increase their prices and increase the profit margin. Since then, they have to sell the product at low profit margin only in Gujarat, because now it has become difficult for them to increase the profit margin and increase the cost of their product. So if they try to increase the cost of the product, immediately their sales go down. So that's the thing. Like if you start a business, and if you start uh, or if you try to push your product in the market with low profit margins initially, then for entire life cycle of that product, you have to sell it at low price, low profit margins only. So whenever you launch the product, from the start, decide that this is my profit margin, and try to sell it at that profit margin only. Don't try to cut down your profit margin because you want to enter newly into the market and want to get established. Later on, it's very difficult to increase the profit margin. Okay. And lastly, the types with the third-party marketing firms. That was also not a good decision. Since actually we failed in the first summer season, we thought that marketing is not our strength, and let's give this task to third-party firms. But finally, it's not their baby; it's our baby. So other people will not care much about the product as we care about it. Marketing firms are getting their share, so whether product runs or no, they don't care. So chala to chala, nahi to डूब गया, उनको क्या फर्क पड़ता है, right? So these points went wrong, and then by the end of 2 years, we didn't had enough funds to invest again in packaging and marketing, and again try to boost our product. So we closed that line finally. We discarded remaining packaging material, sold the machinery at throwaway prices, literally, and shifted to the new line of herbal tea. And fortunately, our other B2B products were working okay by that time. And by the end of second year, we were in good position. Like we could go to China, we can procure new packaging machine for herbal tea and start a new production line. So that's because we had multiple products. right? I already shared, like people had just one product, and when it fails, they have to close the business. So that's the benefit. Like you can see this one, like when you go to this sweet uh, market or sweet shop, like the Burfi wala. So they have multiple burfis to sell in. They just don't have like Amba Burfi and try to sell the Amba Burfi. No, people ask for multiple things, right? So they have multiple products for selling in their shop. So likewise, in business also, you should have multiple things simultaneously, which you should work on, so that if one fails, you have something other as a backup, right? Because it's not that everything will run smoothly. In Even if see in this uh, beverage line also, we had four flavors. So it's typically advised that you have 4 to 6 flavors, out of which one or two will run good, will have maximum share. One or two will have okay types. One or two flavors will not run at all. But still, you should have those on the shelf, because customer will like to see options and then choose. If you just have one flavor of the beverage, you will say like it's a good selling product, and let's just have this one or two flavors only which are good selling. Then the customer will see, इनके पास कुछ option ही नहीं है, don't buy this. So even if they will buy those good running flavors only, but they will like to have or like to see options, and then whatever they want to choose, they will choose. But उनको एक ये मिलता है सेटिस्फेक्शन कि मेरे पास 10 ऑप्शन थे और उसमें से मैंने ये एक चूज किया, इसलिए कि वो वैसे भी वही खरीदने वाले हैं, लेकिन ऑप्शंस दिए तो अच्छा लगता है लोगों को. सो यू शुड हैव ऑप्शंस, और कस्टमर्स शुड हैव ऑप्शंस. Then RTC, like ready to eat, ready to cook, dry mixes. So uh, basically, as I said, we look for the opportunity in the pandemic through this dry mix business. Okay, so because pandemic really impacted few of our products, and then we have to start something new. So when we started first, like in 2017, we were doing vegetable dehydration, but soon we realized that with just vegetable drying and selling vegetable powder, it's not that profitable business. Profit giving business will not be able to achieve that much product with the scale of the dryer that we had. Either we have to scale up our unit, like we should operate it at bigger scale, so sell in bulk and at low value bulk product, or you can have high value and low bulk. So that's the key. You should always remember, if you have low value and low scale, then you will not survive. Either you have high value and lesser scale, or you should have bigger scale and low value product. So then we should have value added products that we thought which can give more profit margin basically. But the hot air dryer which we had at that time, it was not suitable for the specialized product. Right. So when we shifted to the new location, and when we set up our own machinery, instead of going for hot air dryer, we preferred for heat pump dryer. So heat pump dryer is a new technology for drying material. So basically, it is low temperature drying. You must be aware about the biochemicals which are present in the food, which are unstable many times at high temperature, like vitamins and all those things. So they are unstable at high temperature. So we prefer to dry the food at lower temperature, and that's the advantage of heat pump dryer. So till that time, heat pump dryer was at R&D stage, but later on it became commercialized soon, and we preferred heat pump dryer over hot air dryer. So instead of then just vegetable drying, uh, we focused on nutritional dry mixes and ready to eat and ready to cook dry mixes. So the nutraceutical term you might have heard by now, or the functional foods. Like functional foods are like the foods which are giving some medicinal effect, but they are not actually medicine. They are foods. So those are functional foods. Or nutraceutical is medicine basically, but manufactured from the food source. So someone's mic is on. Can you please unmute it? We decided that we'll focus it on the nutritional products or nutritional dry mixes. So for those who are not from the food market, or the food background you don't have, you all are pharma, you all have pharma background. So, but you must have seen the products in the market like poha mix or upma mix, etc., in which you can just add a hot water and the product is ready. Or the other products like gravy mixes, etc. So you can just add a hot water and make a gravy, and then we can add cooked vegetables or the meat or paneer, etc. And the dish is ready. So these products are called ready to eat or ready to cook products basically. So the approach is like we make the product and then dehydrate it in the dryer. The product is altered in such a way that after rehydration, that means after adding the hot water, it should match with the fresh preparation. So the product on which we are working are breakfast mixes like misal mix or the gravy mixes we are working on with one of the chefs. Then with different varieties of rice mixes, etc. And we are also manufacturing dehydrated sprouts like mood beans or moog beans, etc. These are mainly for export market. So the ready-to-eat market. So actually, I just took a few of the slides from other presentations. So although you are not from food background, but it's okay to share a few points. Let me share them quickly. Like ready-to-eat food products. So what are the challenges and what are the growth drivers for ready-to-eat market? So let's have a quick look. So with fast lifestyle and more working women, there is a big opportunity for ready-to-eat foods. So whether you are bachelor or a working woman, because of the fast lifestyle, you get lesser time to spend in the kitchen and hence want a convenience, which will lower your efforts in the kitchen, right? So in recent times, because of the increase in then food delivery apps, uh, etc., the demand for ready to eat and ready to cook foods has also increased. The next is millennial generation. So in senior citizens, there was a negative notion about the processed food, but millennial generation, that is you young people, they are well informed. You are watching TV, food channels, traveling across the country, maybe across the globe, and open for ready to eat, ready to cook foods. And last factor is high disposable income. So with the IT sector and etc., increased income, they have more spending power. Uh, so that's important for factor for the growth of the processed food. Now let's see the challenges. So cases of failed quality. So quality is very important. So whether it is pharma or food, if you don't have good quality, then you cannot survive, right? Maybe so. Best example what I can give is the movies. So even if what uh, you see is so before launch of the movie, they do high promotions, etc., etc. And on Friday, they will try to launch the movie in as many theaters as they can and try to earn before people can recognize whether movie is good or bad, right? So before only before people or before the mouth spreading or the publicity through the mouth spreading, uh, develops, like whether movie is good or bad, they try to earn it. So, but that's not the case, right? If we are in business and we want to play at for longer time, we want to run our product for longer time. If your product is good, then only you can survive. You can run the advertisements, you can do social media campaign, promote your product through Facebook, through WhatsApp, etc., etc. You can have YouTube channel. So that's the new way of marketing, right? Having new YouTube channel, promotion through Facebook, etc. So of course, if you don't advertise, you cannot sell your product. Uh, there is a saying that एडवर्टाइजमेंट के बिना प्रोडक्ट बेचने की कोशिश करना इज लाइक किसी लड़की को अंधेरे में आंख मारने जैसा है. लाइक लड़की को भी पता नहीं चलेगा कि आपने आंख मारी है, एंड दैट्स ऑफ नो यूज, राइट? सो selling without advertisement doesn't make sense. But even if you heavily advertise, if you have good product, then only you can sell it in the market. You cannot sell bad product with heavy advertisements. So the quality should be good. So basically it started from the quality. So earlier in ready to eat foods, there were cases of failed quality, like product had many preservatives loaded with the chemicals, etc., etc. So there were cases like that. So that was one bad point. Then, as I said before, especially in older generation, there is negative perception about processed food, that it is not good, it has a lot of chemical additives, nutritional quality is lesser, etc., etc. So food industry has to overcome this perception, which is happening in recent times, basically. Then increased health concerns. So with more consumer awareness, you cannot sell anything, as I said. So if you can give convenient food which is nutritious and at right cost, then only you can progress well. Lack of effective distribution system was challenged earlier, but in recent times it is improving. The specialty stores, etc., are coming up, which will take the sector further. Like the specialty stores, then online platforms, they are also very important. Like earlier, uh, selling in traditional kirana shops was the only option for the foods, but now there are supermarkets, there are specialty stores, there are online platforms through which you can boost your product. Next is restaurant food versus packaged food. So if you are getting the food from the restaurant at your corner, which makes the food freshly, at least you think that they are making it freshly. We don't know what they are making at restaurants actually. But restaurant food versus packaged food. So there is direct comparison in terms of cost, freshness, flavor, texture, mouthfeel, etc. And you have to win the race through convenience, nutrition, effective labeling, nutrition declaration, etc. And last factor is cost factor. So the processed food versus food made at home, but cost is for the convenience that you get. But you have to communicate it well with the consumer that you are this higher cost you are paying for the convenience that you are getting. So these are the growth drivers versus challenges. To me, main balancing factors are convenience, negative perception, nutrition, etc. So if you can balance these things, then only you can win. And I think the last one is effect of pandemic. So I wanted to talk a little bit on about the COVID-19 pandemic effect or impact. So there was a big impact in all sectors, and apart from pharma and food, all the sectors had actually a severe impact because of this pandemic, and we are not yet out from the pandemic. But if we see, so pharma industry, there is no problem. It is running smoothly. Rather, pharma industry might have seen increased sales than the normal situation maybe. but for food, it is mixed. Like if we see the ready to eat and ready to cook sector, then it is flourishing in this pandemic. So it is the fastest growing segment in the food industry right now. So with people working from home, uh, they were getting lesser time to spend in kitchen because they have to work, they have to look towards their kids, uh, and all those things. And so when you are at home, you always want something for eating after some time. Also, people were locked down and they wanted to experiment in kitchen. Like in pandemic, you might have seen like people want to like bake a cake at home, and posting a picture on Instagram is fad. Like I bake a cake at home and post a picture of it on Instagram. So that's a fancy thing, right? So maybe people don't want to do routine uh, cooking, but they want to do such fancy things. So such fads they do come in market or uh, in society basically. So basically, ready to cook products and ready to eat products, they saw big demand, and to serve them, there were online delivery platforms available. As we can see here, the online grocery platform Grofers had reported huge increase in demand for ready meals, dry mixes, and ready-to-eat foods. And lastly, limited resources for restaurants. So we also found opportunity here. Like restaurants had big impact during pandemic. So many chefs from restaurants went to their native place and didn't came back. So after lockdown was relaxed partially, uh, sorry, sorry. So after lockdown was relaxed partially, restaurants were not sure how many customers will turn today, how much to cook, uh, and because they cook in huge quantity and customers didn't turn up, then it is waste. So in this scenario, what we did is we collaborated with one of the chefs who was already serving the horeca, that is hotel, restaurant, canteen industry. So we developed ready mixes in dry form with him and started supplying to uh, this hotel, restaurant, and canteen industry through him. So restaurants can just rehydrate the product as per the demand on the respective day, and then they just serve the customers. So one more advantage for them is even if the cook changes or chef changes, they have the constant taste for them, because taste is very important for restaurants. We go to typical restaurant because they have good taste, and if taste changes, then they have big impact on their business. So and taste is basically dependent on chef. So if chef changes, then taste may change. So that's huge loss for them. But if you have centralized kitchen and you're serving them with the convenience and all those things, then you will all obviously go for it. So that's my last slide. And take home message is the SWOT analysis. It's very important to identify your strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats well ahead of you start anything. And then accordingly, you can take the decision. Then identify your ikigai, that is the thing which you are good at, which can pay you, which the world uh, is in need of, and what you love. So it is the key for the happy life. So I will also advise you to read the book which has the same title, that is Ikigai. So that's available online as well. So read that; it's a good book. And I just forgot the name of the author, but you can search for it. It's a famous book. So do read it. The next one is innovation. So as I said, it is important, or rather, I will say most important thing for the success. Only with the innovation you will stand out. Else, if you just copy others, you will be just one in thousand more businesses. You will not uh, get that otherworldly passion for your work, and you will not stand out. So innovation is very very important. Next is make mistakes. That's okay, but take learnings from others' mistakes, your own mistakes. Don't repeat the mistakes. And as I said, It's okay to fail in the start or in the middle, but don't entertain the failure at the end. So don't stop because you failed. So come out of it, and then if you want, you can leave the business on the successful note. So that's very important thing that I wanted to say. And lastly,
Yeah,
identify the
yes.
trends and find the opportunities in the calamity. So I think that's very important. So that's it from my side for on today. Thank you very much for paying attention. That's my contact number. That's my email ID. So anybody uh, want to start any new business, I will be very happy to guide you or help you in whatever
No,
manner I
no,
can. Okay, so
no, no.
I think that's it from my side. Uh, if we have any questions, actually, I just forgot to look at the chat. If we have any questions, let me see the chat. If there are any
All
questions.
the delegates, yes, all the delegates are requested to ask their questions. If they are having, they can directly can also be asked, or you can write in the chat box. Remember, the form link has been sent on the chat box. Feedback form. You can fill up the feedback form. Within 2 to 3 days, you will get your certificate on the registered email ID. Okay, so all can fill the feedback form, and those who are having the question, they can ask in the chat box so that we can take and we can ask to the speaker.
I think there are a few questions already in the chat box.
Yes, sir. The question is by Swapnil Ghuge, who is a student roll number 22. What are the top 3 opportunities in pharma manufacturing?
Actually, I don't have the background for pharma industry. Little hard for me to tell you. But I think nutraceutical is a good sector, which is like the functional food, at least from food background, I can tell you. So the one thing which people are thinking that's the same trend towards in the food industry as well. So they are looking for more and more natural things. So instead of whether it is food or pharma, instead of eating chemicals, they will love to have natural things. So natural extracts and these nutraceuticals, they are seeing high demand in recent times. So I think that's one sector I can suggest for the pharma. Otherwise, for me, it's a little hard to comment apart from that.
So the next question is that you deal with B2B as well as export. So
Yes.
how can we decide we are good in B2B or in B2C?
Right. So that's a good question, and it's good to identify whether we are good at B2B or B2C. So for B2C business, you should have strong marketing skills as well, or at least you should have a partner which has good marketing skills, because when you are directly selling to the customers, you need good advertisement, you need promotional events, you need good marketing skills, good distribution channel, and all those things. So it's applicable for all products, all sectors, right? So not only food, pharma, all sectors, it is applicable. So if you have that skill, or at least if you have partner and one of you have good skills in sales and marketing, then only I will advise that go to B2C, that is enter into the retail market. Like what is B2C is selling your product into the retail market. So you should promote your there are different ways of promoting your product. One is you can have the posters in the shops, and you can give more margin to the shopkeeper, so that shopkeeper will promote your product. Like I can give example, like suppose there are two products, both of them have MRP of say 50 rupees, but on one product he is getting 10% margin, and another product he is getting 15% margin. So margin is on MRP, like 10% of the MRP he's getting in for one product, and for another product he's getting 15% on the MRP. So he will obviously try to push the product where which is giving him more profit, right? So you can now you try to observe whenever you go to shop, like whether you buy a mobile phone or any other thing, or even toothpaste or soap, etc. Shopkeeper will always try to push some brand. Like I have also experienced this. Like so, he will try to push some brand, whether it is good or bad. He don't care. He will try to push it. Like बोलेगा ये नया है मार्केट में, ये अच्छा है, मैं खुद इस्तेमाल करता हूँ, ये घर पे आप भी ले लो, ऐसे करके वो पुश करने की कोशिश करेगा. So immediately you can uh, take a call that he is getting more margin in this product. Whether it is good or bad, you have to experience it. But he is getting more margin in that product, and that's why he is trying to push that product. So that's the one thing. So when you are on other side, you are a businessman and you want to try to push your product. So one way is giving good margin to the shopkeeper so that he will try to sell it. So if when you start new, you don't have budget to run advertisement on the TV channel. You don't have that much budget. So how people will come to know that there is a new product in the market? So shopkeeper has to push your product. So give more margin to the shopkeeper so that he will push the product to the customer. But you should have posters and all those things. The new channels, as I said, Facebook promotion, Instagram promotion, YouTube channel promotion. These are good ways, and they also work well. So if you have strength in all those things, then it's good to enter into the B2C market. If you don't have those marketing skills, but you have good technical knowledge, then it's better to enter into the B2B market. Like you manufacture and sell it to the other business who will use it as an ingredient maybe, or who will sell that product into the repack, relabel, and sell into the market. That's okay. So you get your share for the production. Whatever other business is doing is their headache. So if you don't have marketing skills, but if you are sound in this one, technically sound, have good skills in production R&D, then it's always better to enter into the B2B business.
Okay, sir. Very well explained, sir. Sir, our one of the faculty, Dr. Khan Dureshawar, she asked that doesn't it require any permission from any government agency or something like that?
Yes, of course. So to start a business, there are obviously you have to register your firm with the company registrar. You have to register your firm either as partnership firm, proprietorship, LLP, private limited, whatever it may be. Then obviously there are formalities for food and pharma, like you have to get license. For food it is FSSAI, for pharma it is FDA license, then GST, etc. So all these formalities you have to complete, and then only you can start manufacturing and start. So for food and pharma, FSSAI is for foods, FDA is for pharma. So those licenses are very important, and basically when you get those licenses, you have to declare like what you will be manufacturing, what you have to present the labels and all those things, so that then only you get the license for manufacturing of that product. So it's same for food and pharma.
Okay, sir. Okay. One of the delegate, Shazia Khan, she asked that, sir, please share some details of export business, where to start it.
Yeah, so for export, as I said, the contacts is the key. So you should have contacts abroad to sell into the to start the export. There are obviously some agencies like Export India, etc., which also give customers to you and take some margin in between. But personally, I don't have good experience with such agencies. Like you might have heard this one. I just forgot the name of the platform. I will tell you when I recall it. So there are such platforms who connect the customers abroad with the manufacturer, and they take some commission for that. But personally, I don't have very good experience with such platforms, and apart from one or two incidences, we stopped dealing with such platforms. There is government platform as well. I think it's James or something like that. Where you can list your products. So basically, government don't take any commission for that. It's a free platform. So you can list your products, and exporters in other countries, they keep on looking on such listings, and they can directly contact you and you can export it. So, but there are these are the rare possibilities, like you get business through such platforms. So best way is directly have first hand contact, which is staying abroad, who has the marketing company there, who is already distributing the some products, and then you can also push your product to him. So uh, now many Indians are settled in different countries and they have businesses there. So likewise, we the importers in those we have like UK, US, Australia, New Zealand, etc. So they are Indians only, but settled there. They have business there, and they are distributing some products already. And then through some contact, we got connected, and then we presented our products that these are the ready products with us. If you are interested, then we can start exporting. So through contacts only, you can develop well. That's my personal experience.
Okay, sir. Okay. Sir, one more question from Muzammil Khan, roll number 46. What advice would you give to someone who is trying to become an entrepreneur?
Yeah, so like I have already, as I shared, the SWOT analysis is very important. Identify your strengths and weaknesses, and accordingly choose the sector. Like if you are not good at production, but if you are good at sales and marketing, then you can get your product manufactured by someone else. So someone else will manufacture it for you. You can just take that product and sell it. So identification of the strength and weakness is very, very important. And as I said, uh, like choosing which product you can make and you can uh, sell is a difficult thing to identify. Like when we started into the food business, so there were many options. Like we can make this, we can make this. I have formulas for these products. I can make these many products. But exactly which product should we start with? That is very difficult question to answer, and there is no one answer to that. So best way is to interact with the people who are in similar business and try to identify the market trends is very important. So uh, you can interact with the people, like what they want to buy, what are the trends. Like I said, for in foods, there are trends like people want more and more natural, like no preservatives, no chemicals added, etc., etc. So then you can identify the trend and then select the product. But again, which product to select is a very difficult question to identify, and you have to find the answer on your own.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay. One question is from our most respectable professor, Lahoti sir, Dr. Lahoti sir. He asked, what is the role of startup registration at DIPP and what are advantages of registration?
Yeah, so startup registration is important. we have many facilities if you register as a startup. But as I said, innovation is the key point for the startup. If you have innovative ideas, then only you get the recognition as startup from the government side as well. Like if you just start like that bolt manufacturing shop, that's not a novel idea, right? So you will not be recognized as startup. So that novelty is very important. Innovation is very important. Then you can register on the government portal as the startup, and then benefits are like you get the tax uh, uh, relaxation for, so for different sectors there are different time duration for which you get the relaxation in taxes, etc. Like uh, because like for pharma industry, they, after you establish a company or you form a company, you will spend some time in R&D, and then you will launch your product. So the time duration for the R&D is long, because you have to develop the product, you have to carry out clinical tests and all those things. So the time period is longer. So for pharma and biotech industry, that relaxation period is longer, because they typically take longer time for launching the product. For IT related product, you can quickly like make an app and launch it. So again, of course, there is a developmental time, but lesser time required as compared to pharma industry. So for them, the relaxation is for little lower time period. For pharma, etc., we get the tax benefit, etc., for longer period of time. So mainly the advantage we get in relaxation in taxation, but taxation is also a huge amount for any company. So that's it.
Okay, sir. Okay. Last question we will take. Sir, last question we will take.
Sure, sure.
How to raise the capital for business from investors? How to approach them? It is the question from Amol Taide, roll number 13, our student, college student.
Right.
So
So
last question.
yeah.
Right. Hi.
So there is government initiative as well. Like there is a startup portal. As I said, if you are registered as a startup, then typically you get notifications from government, like investors are there, and you can present your idea and pitch the idea. If you get selected, you will get funding. So that is one way. Like there are more platforms as well, but government also has a good portal, a good platform on which you can register. And like we have also registered on government platform, and at least we get 2-3 emails in a week. Like there is like innovation competition or something or the other, or the events where you can present and uh, present in front of the investors, angel investors, and then get the funding. So that's one way. uh, then another way is search in your local city. Like there are people like in food business, there are many builders who wanted to enter into the food business. So they invest in such startups, and like, so we call them as angel investors. So uh, you have to present like what they will see basically is the profitability, because as I said, if you are just giving return 5 to 10%, better they will keep it in bank. Why they will give funds to you, right? So you have to show them the profitability, how much they will earn. It's okay that initially maybe 2-3 years will not get returns, but you have to basically talk in terms of profit, because they will not understand the technical things. Maybe they will be impressed because of your idea, but they will invest only if they see the potential that this idea can generate money for me. Then only they will invest. They are not fooled to lose the money, right? So that's why your idea is very important, and commercial success is very important. So they will always look at the returns, how much return you can give. So your financial analysis should be sound, and your cost calculations, how much machinery, uh, how much investment required to machinery, packaging, and research, etc. You should be clear with, and uh, at what price you will sell. So at least on paper, everything should be sound, and you should be able to show the profit. It's okay that you predicted that this much sales will be there in first year, second year, etc., and it don't happen. That's okay, because estimation is always on some assumptions, and you cannot predict it correctly. But at least on paper, you should have sound presentation.
Okay, sir.
Mirza sir.
Yes, sir.
Mirza sir. Yeah. Just I would like to share with Sagar sir one
Yes.
question, and then
Yes.
you can propose the vote of thank.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes. Okay.
Sagar sir, very good presentation and very good question answer session also. We are satisfied with your answers, whatever you are given in this presentation, sir. Sir, just one question, because this nutritional products are growing, the nutritional product industry is growing at a faster rate. And you have one product with the nutritional mix, that is smoothie mix. So what type of smoothie mix products are with you, sir? Which products you are selling in the market?
Right. So we are basically not marketing ourselves. We are contract manufacturing for our customers. But the smoothie mixes are like they are basically based on fruits and vegetables, maybe few additives from the Ayurvedic background, and there are products which I can name is the green smoothie mix. So in green smoothie, they have all green vegetables and few additives. In the red smoothie mix, they have all the red vegetables like maybe tomato, carrot, pumpkin, etc. Then we have a product like which is based on bottle gourd. So bottle gourd in Ayurveda, they consider it good to consume daily. So basically we take bottle gourd powder, and then we add a few more powders like tulsi or pudina, black pepper, etc., and few again Ayurvedic additives as well. So then there are mixes for diabetic people which are based on bitter gourd and fenugreek, etc. And there are mixes which are typically for cardiac patients, etc. So there are vegetables which have certain benefits. So mainly we are using that, fruits and vegetables, and then there are a few additives which we have from Ayurveda. So likewise, we develop smoothie mixes for certain customers.
Sir, just to share with you, sir, at our house also, at my home, I have started in last 2 years during this pandemic, this smoothie mix.
Okay.
What I used to do is wheat grass. I grow the wheat grass at home.
Yes.
Yeah. And with the wheat grass, I mix some fruits. Every time I change the fruits.
Yes.
Okay. And in the morning, we had that drink. Every day we are doing that activity since last 2 years. So really, this is a very good product, a nutritional mix. I like it, sir. And if I want to purchase at Aurangabad, do you have any dealer here at Aurangabad, or
no? Basically, as I said,
online?
We don't sell it directly to customers. So there is one marketing company who purchases it from us, and then they market. I don't have idea if they have outlet or any agent in Aurangabad. I will check.
Okay. With the same brand name, Osman, or with somebody different?
Some other brand. I don't know their brand right now. I will check and get back.
Yeah, no problem, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Over to Shahid, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, before giving the vote of thanks, I want to share the certificate of today's speaker.
2 minutes. Huh?
Sir, this is the certificate, e-certificate of appreciation
Thank you very
for
much.
our today's speaker, Dr. Sagar Gokhale, co-founder and partner Ojman Food Biotech. So, sir, we will mail you also this certificate.
Sure. Thank you very much.
So, accept. Okay, sir. Okay. Now I am delighted to share the vote of thanks for this fabulous online workshop. Everybody has enjoyed it. Students have also enjoyed, and they have asked their questions also for the startup. So it's a very good session, sir. All the special delegates, speakers, and students of a very good afternoon to all. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this event to all the dignitaries assembled here. Let me start first of all by giving glory to Almighty God for making today's day a resounding success. I would like to thank our management and in charge principal, Dr. Abu Bakr Salam Bawazir, for giving us the opportunity to organize today's online workshop on the topic of entrepreneurship, skills, attitude, and behavioral development. I would like to thank our today's speaker, Dr. Sagar Gokhale, who co-founder and partner Ojman Food Bio, Pune, who enlightened this function with his knowledgeable guidance, inspiration, and expertise thought, motivating our college students and delegate across the region. I would like to thank our ICC coordinators, staff members, students, participants, volunteers, and last but not the least, our beloved audience for making this function a great success. Once again, thank one and all present here. Thank you, sir. The last announcement for getting the e-certificate, you have to compulsorily fill the feedback form. After that, you will receive the certificate on your registered mail ID within 2 to 3 days. The link for the feedback form is already shared in the workshop chat box. Those who have filled, nice, but those who have not filled, just fill it fast so that you can get the e-certificate also for this online workshop. So lastly, with the permission of in charge principal, sir, can we conclude this session?
Yes, yes, you can. Thank you very much for this presentation.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We can conclude now. The session is declared concluded. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much and have a good day. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.